Hello children, how you all are? Hope you all are doing good. Now today's topic is active and passive voice. But before I start active and passive voice, let us discuss what is voice. So children, voice is a statement or a speech. And we can classify this voice into active and passive voice. Active and passive. In active voice, we focus on subject. And in passive voice, we focus on object. The subject is doer and this object is receiver. Now with the help of example, we'll try to understand it. Now first I start with active voice. Man realizes his mistake very late. So man realizes his mistake very late. This is example. In this example, we have to find out the subject, the doer. So we can place a question to identify it, like who realizes? Okay, who realizes? So who realizes? That is, of course, answer is man. So man realizes. Man realizes. So what is man here? That is subject. This is subject of the sentence. So man realizes his mistakes very late. Now we have to get the object also here, children. So what man realizes? That is mistake. What is mistake? That is object. So man, we have focused here on subject. So wherever we focus on subject, that we call active voice. And active voice always have subject. In active voice sentences, we always have subject. Okay, so that is the important part of active voice. Now I rewrite this sentence for passive voice. This is the example of passive voice, children. It is the same sentence, but few changes are there. As we shifted our focus from subject to object, you can notice here that the object which was there in the active voice, we have written at the very starting in passive voice. This is object, and in passive voice we focus on object. Mistake is realized very late by man. So this is the object which we are paying on which we are paying attention here in the passive voice. Yes, children. So entire study of passive voice depends on one particular rule. Okay. So what is the rule? Object plus be plus third form of verb and plus subject. So this is the one rule. Okay, and this rule is very, very necessary as well as helpful for the passive voice. Here, children, now we have the perfect classification of be verb. I have classified this be verb in four forms, in its four forms. In first form, is, am, are is always used. In second form, it becomes was and were. In third form, it becomes been, and in fourth form, it becomes been. So this is the perfect classification. As we can take the help of example. Here go, go, went, gone, and here going. So we have classified this go verb in its 4 forms. Okay, go first, went that is second form, gone that is third, and going that is go plus ing. Here I have classified the forms of be verb here, children, you can see. And now further I have written here the examples of active voice. Okay, so first sentence, he kicks the ball. He kicks the ball. So he, that I have underlined with the green pen. So the words which are underlined with the green pen, they all are subject. Okay, the first part which is underlined with the green pen, that these are all subject, and the words which are underlined at the last, they all are object. Now he kicks the ball, so he is subject here, that is subject here. Kicks, that is the verb, and the ball, that is object here. Now children, kicks, this kicks, which form of verb it is? That is the first form of verb. In second sentence, dog is barking at a stranger. So what is dog? That is subject. That is subject. Barking, that is verb. Which form of verb? You can see children, that is bark plus ing. So that is fourth form of verb. Fourth form of verb. And at the stranger, that is object. She knocked at my door. She, that is subject here. Then knocked, that is again verb. Which verb? That is second form of verb. That is second form of verb. And door, that is object. They have to call me for dinner, that is the next sentence. So they, that is subject. Call, that is first form of verb. And me, that is object. He has distributed sweets. What is he here? That is subject. Distributed, that is third form of verb. And sweets, that is object. Now children, here we have focused on subject. Okay, we have focused on the doer, what the doer has done, and we also discussed the different forms of verbs here. Now it is a time to discuss this rule, how we are going to use this rule while writing the passive voice sentence. I'm going to use this rule for passive voice for the above active voice sentences. So first, passive voice sentence for this active voice. He kicks the ball. Passive voice, the ball is kicked by him. Now let me tell you first, the ball. What is the ball? The ball is object here, children. The ball is object here. For this be verb we have used here is. The third form of the verb is kicked, and by him, that is subject. Now why we used this is, that is, now listen here, this is, when the rule says whenever in active voice first form of verb occurs, that time we have to use the first form of be verb, is, am, are. So according to that, I have used is. Is kicked. Then here is by him, that is subject. Now second sentence, dog is barking at a stranger. A stranger is being barked at by dog. A stranger is being barked at by dog. Now a stranger, that is object, is, we do not conclude it as be verb because already this is helping verb here in the active voice. Okay, so for be, what we have used here, being. What we have used here, being. Okay, we have replaced. Why we have replaced here? Because in active voice, children, it was barking. So whenever there is ing form, so what we use? We use the fourth form of be verb, that is being. So that's why being is used here. Now third form of verb, that is barked, and this barking changes into barked, that is perfect participle. So being barked by dog, that is subject. Now third sentence, she knocked at my door. My door was knocked at by her. My door was knocked at by her. See here this rule, my door, that is object, that is object. Then was we have used here. So which form we have used here of be? That is was. And which form it is? Second form. It is second form of be verb. Now why we have used here for was? See this active voice sentence. It is second form of verb, and the rule says whenever the second form of verb occurs in active voice, we have to use second form of be verb, that is was. Okay, and this not, here it is perfect participle. Then by her, that is subject. Now fourth sentence, they have to call me for dinner. I have to be called for dinner by them. I have to be called for dinner by them. Now I have, what is I have? That this I have is object. This I have is object. Why we have used here be, children? Because see this, they have to call me for dinner. So what is this to call? This to call is infinitive here. So we, in case of infinitive, what we use the actual form of be verb, that is be. And then after that, what we have used here, third form of verb, that is called. Then by them, that is subject here. Now fifth sentence, he has distributed sweets. So sweets have been distributed by them. By him. Sweets have been distributed by him. Now sweets. So what is sweets? That is object. That is object. Now have, already this has is used here. So according to this, we have used here have. Okay, it is plural form, so we have used here have. Now see, for the be verb, what we have used here, been, because the rule says that if it is perfect, so what we have to use here, we have to use third form of be verb. And what is that? That is been. So we have used here been. And then third form of verb or the perfect participle, that is distributed. So been distributed. Been distributed. And by him, that is subject. Now let us correlate this part with the active voice, children. He kicks the ball. Here, first form of verb was there. Okay, first form of verb. And the rule says that if in active voice, first form of verb occurs, so we have to use first form of be verb. Okay, so that's why what is used here in passive voice is. And then verb third form, that is kicked, and then subject him. Then look at the second sentence. Dog is barking at a stranger. Okay, so barking, that bark plus ing, so it is fourth form of it is fourth form of verb. So which form of verb will be there of be? Fourth form, of course, fourth form, that is being. So what we did, we replaced this barking by using being. Is used, it will remain same, no changes will be there. But barking we replaced by using being, and this bark changes into the third form of verb, that is barked, and dog, that is subject here. Third sentence, she knocked at my door. Second form of verb is used here, children, and the rule says whenever there is the second form of verb, so we have to use second form of be verb. And what is the second form of verb? Be verb, that is was and were. So was, what we have used here, was. Okay, and then verb third form, that is knocked, and this her is subject here. Now fourth one, I have to be called for dinner by them. Now they have to call me for dinner. Already I told you this is infinitive to call, this is infinitive. So here in place of be verb, what we have used, actual form of be, that is be. Okay, and this call changes into the third form, that is called, and them, that is subject here. Then fifth sentence, he has distributed sweets. So has is already used here, so according to the sweets we have changed here has into have. And then instead of the be place, what we have used here, been. Why been? Because it is has, this is the perfect. And what we have to use, we have to use been whenever there is the third form of verb. So been and distributed, that is again past perfect participle. Okay, perfect participle. So been plus distributed, and this is the subject here. So if you use this rule, children, while transforming the active voice sentences into the passive voice, it is going to be very easy for you.